Hello, all you wonderful people, and happy Monday to you. As usual, hope you all had a great weekend, and I wish you a wonderful week ahead. We are here to gain some insight into what this week is actually going to hold for us. So here we go. I'm using the Earth Magic Oracle deck today, which I think is a really beautiful deck. It talks about very fundamental energies with certain things, and so we're going to see what this brings up for us. If you're new here, very welcome. And what I do on a Monday is I ask for the general energy of the week ahead and try to give some guidance and advice on how to handle it, how to optimize opportunities, or whatever else it wants to talk about. Okay, so here we go. So let's please ask for a card to represent the energy for the week ahead. Here we go. Power, lightning. Okay, so this week I think is much to do with taking decisive action with certain things. I feel like it's about taking an opportunity, acting on something, not hesitating with certain things, and having that kind of power behind you where you realize you can also tap into the power of the energies around you, your guides, your guardians, all the rest of it, as well as your inner power. So that's about tapping into, you know, assertiveness or anything like that that might be beneficial in a situation that you find yourself in this week. If you have to be strong, if you have to be a bit, like I say, assertive, then that's what you need to do. This is a sign for you to be in a position of power. So also, I think that certain things could occur that can bring that about for you. And we just need to look around us and see where we see power all around us, expressed in nature, like it shows you here, the lightning bolt. And this is saying this force of nature is available to you, but how you use it determines how you get, you know, what outcome you get. So are we using it in a useful way? Are we using our power in a damaging way or misusing our power? These are things that we need to bring into our awareness. And with every act that we do, we need to make sure that our intention is coming from a place of integrity, that we are honoring our values and we are taking opportunities when they present themselves, but using them in the best way going forward. Okay, so don't allow yourself to be caught in too much of, is this good or is this bad? Try to just tap into, what do I feel compelled to do? And a quick check on whether it is, you know, something that feels good or feels like it is okay. So I think that, you know, when we pay close attention to the promptings that are around us, Spirit having intervention and bringing up certain things, we see that certain things are being revealed to us. We are being presented with some information or an opportunity or something that allows us to take action in a positive way. And that when we see this kind of energy, it also shows the potential for us to make really good decisions that put us in a position of power. All right, what else do we need to know, please, or any action or advice? Childhood, innocence. Sorry, let me just show you the card. All right, so when I see this card, I feel as if this is a word of advice for us to kind of trust in the process of certain things we're dealing with. It's like letting the powers that be have a part to play with certain things, realizing that we don't always know everything about everything. And unless we open ourselves to possibilities, we don't always see what there could be for us. So when I see this card, it's about having that feeling as a child where you don't worry about where things come from. You don't worry about how things happen. That's the adult's problem. That's not your problem. And having this thing about, you know, you just want to enjoy everything around you, have this sense of wonder about looking at the sky, looking at the sun's rays and the rainbows and all of this kind of thing. They really have very few cares in the world. And children can often remind us about how simple life can be and that we don't always have to be so terribly serious. Okay, so this is about tapping into those energies again and not holding on to shame or to guilt or certain things that are really not our problem. If you think of how you would take charge as an adult in a situation where a child is not having to face certain challenges, or doesn't have to know about your money problems. All of those things are things that can bring up negative aspects. They can bring up disappointments. And I think that we need to really tap into that feeling of, to some extent, I'm also looked after. I'm also a child of spirit. And I can sometimes, when I'm really in a difficult position, or I need help in some other way, I can ask for that. I can tap into that. Okay, so there is that core of innocence within us that can help us to release anything that we hold onto, that we feel embarrassed about, or shameful about, or regretful about. And it's saying, look at things with fresh eyes, okay? And forget about what's happened in the past. You are here today. Be in the moment. Filter out all of those things that stop you from seeing what's coming for you, or stop being present in the moment. Okay, so take any opportunities there are to heal that situation and let go, so that you can get back to that place where you're thinking, this is great. I can start from scratch. Every day is a new start. And what's in the past has passed. There's nothing we can do to change it. It literally is what it is. But what we can do is move in the moment now and be looking forward. Be present in the moment. If you were with children, you'll notice that they often don't allow you to do the thing that you're trying to do and trying to move forward. And you're like, oh, I've got to hurry up. I've got to do this and then the next thing. Or they're not worrying about what happened in the past. They can have what seems like an ordeal to them, and 10 minutes later they've forgotten that it's happened. They're like, oh, whatever, let's move on. I bumped my head, or my toy got taken away, or whatever the case is. But they really recover from that so quickly, and they say, well, it's in the past. What else you got? Let's try and have that attitude this week, because that opens up a lot of doors. Where one closes, another one opens. And if you have that trust, that innocence, and that trust that the universe is there as a supporting parent kind of an energy, and sometimes we don't always have to do or know everything. And we can sometimes just trust and look at the very simple elements around us, the innocent essence of where we're at and what we're doing and the things that surround us, instead of overcomplicating everything. That's the best approach for this week. All right, let me see what else we got. Submerged. All right, so this looks like when I see submerged, I feel like there's something that feels like it's beneath the surface, and it's something big. All right, and we might be keeping it bottled in. I really feel like it connects to the power card as well, that we have to stand in our power and say something that we need to say, or maybe it's to tap into this energy. It's simply the case of saying, sorry, but this is not my problem. And that sounds really mean, but sometimes we really get ourselves enmeshed in situations that are not ours to take on. They are not our problem. We feel overly responsible for certain things, circumstances, and people, and sometimes it's just not your problem. And this day and age, we have so many of our own issues to deal with, and there's so much going on, so much information, so many tasks to do when you have supposedly one job, but they've integrated 3 jobs into one. It's a very overwhelming and challenging place to be. So we do really need to draw the line between what we do feel guilty and responsible for, which was also brought up here, guilty, shameful. Have a look at those things, maybe re-look at them and say, you know what, was I in the situation because of my own doing? Did I actually do something wrong? Is my shame or my guilt warranted in a particular situation? Why do I think that I'm responsible for that? And maybe you just need to gain some perspective on a situation and realize, hey, you know what, this is really not my problem. And again, that might sound a bit selfish, but it's not. We need to keep things realistic and not take on things that aren't ours. All right, let's see. Anything else, please, for the week ahead? It doesn't look like it. Let me ask one more time. No, this feels like we've got all the cards we're going to get. All right, purification. This came up in some of the readings that I did this morning as well. This is asking us to literally purify, to like work on detoxing certain things, mind, body, spirit. Maybe you need a meditation, maybe you need to take a nice salt bath, maybe you need to have like a cleansing in terms of what you eat and go on a bit of a detox in that sense, going on some juices or cutting out sugar and things that are not necessarily good for us, that make us feel tired and lethargic and affect our moods in negative ways. So it's important to look at those kind of things, because I feel like these also are energies that can kind of weigh us down. All right. And purifying is also mulling certain things over in our minds about what I was talking about, whatever's submerged there. All right, let it out. Even if you don't let it out to other people, make sure that you process it in some way. Go and have that salt bath that draws all the negativity out of your body. Pull the plug. Imagine all of it going down the drain. Rinse your body off so that you get every ounce of it off and say, okay, that heaviness is not mine anymore. I make peace with it. It's down the drain. It can never be returned to me. I'm not about to follow it down there. It's gone. All right, these kind of practices, writing something down because you need to express yourself and not to keep it submerged any longer, is important. All right. So whatever way or means that you feel like you need to do in order to get to that place is vitally important. You can write something down, and you can even light it as well if it's on a piece of paper, and let it burn up into the ether and you've released it. You know, sending things down the drain or up into the ether, once they're gone, we cannot retrieve them. Unless you're about to become a Ninja Turtle. But we cannot retrieve them. And that's the whole thing behind it. Once it's gone, it's gone. And that's symbolic letting go of something. Letting it go up into the air where you can't grab it again. Letting it go down the drain. You can't go there and fetch it. Those are the things where you really truly have that symbolism behind it, and you really truly are able to leave it behind. Use those practices and work on them this week, because this is going to be very beneficial for you. And let yourself look at things that maybe even happened in your childhood, or look at some inner child issues. Write things down. And above all, work to a place where you are going to get your power back. All right. I hope this helps you, and I send you all loads of love. Have a beautiful week. Bye for now.